Welcome to the Whiskey Explorer. Thanks so much for tuning in for another episode, guys. And if this is your first time on the channel, if you could please do us a quick favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, let us know what you thought about the video, and we'll help grow the community here at the Whiskey Explorer. And tonight we have a very interesting whiskey for you guys tonight. We have got a local craft distillery, and this is their Ancient Grains Single Cask, Cask Strength. All right, so this single cask release comes from Divine Distillery. So I've actually done a behind the scenes video of the Divine Distillers, and they produce all sorts of different types of spirits. So they've done gins, some vodkas, different types of whiskeys. They've also got some vermouth and some other things. And they also have a fantastic single malt called the Glen Saanich. And this is their Ancient Grains. And I've also reviewed the original Ancient Grains, and I'll just put a link up above for you guys to click on that if you'd like to check out that original video. I absolutely love what this distillery is doing. They're local, they're fantastic, they're grain to glass, so they've got the whole farming operation, they're using local grains and distilling some fantastic spirits. And this one here is done in partnership with a couple of partners. This was a limited release that they did with Pads, which is like a sort of a dog, like a dogs for disabilities. So they basically have like assistance dogs that help people with disabilities. So they were doing a bit of a fundraising aspect to this release, and it's also done in partnership with one of our local spirit shops, the Strathcona Liquor Store. Fantastic whiskey shop. They've got all sorts of interesting things in there. So it's cool. When this came out, we had to grab a bottle, review it for the channel, of course. So we actually got bottle number 1 out of 67 for this one. And this is the Ancient Grains. It is distilled at cask strength, and it is 56.9% alcohol by volume. So I absolutely love the original Ancient Grains, so super excited to dive into this one here for you guys. And what's super cool about this Ancient Grains is it has one of the most unique mash bills I've ever seen in a whiskey. It's so unique that I'm going to have to read it off the side of the bottle for you guys because there's absolutely no way I'm going to remember what they are. All right, so here's the description on the side of the bottle for you. It says, we distill BC barley, spelt, emmer, Khorasan, and einkorn, the ancestors of all modern grains. One of the most unique and flavorful whiskey spirits you'll ever taste. All right, so that's Ancient Grains. It's got a super unique mash bill. All sorts of cool grains that you don't usually see in whiskeys are distilled to make this product here. So we'll absolutely dive into this one here and let you guys know what I think. All right. So single cask, so it's just one cask, 67 bottles in there, and bottled at cask strength, which is awesome, and non-chill filtered, no color added. All right, let's get into a quick look at this, the color on this whiskey. It's just a beautiful, deep, dark, rich copper color. Looks super inviting in the glass. Looks just beautiful. Let's dive into the nose. Cheers. Oh wow, this is just such a unique nose. It's like nothing I've kind of ever experienced in a whiskey before. I did experience a little bit of course, with the original Ancient Grains, but this one's just taking it to the next level. There's this beautiful kind of wood note in there. It's like almost like new charred oak, so it's not quite aged all that long, but it's like a really beautiful kind of woody note to it. That's kind of the backbone of this whiskey. Now I'm getting some nuttiness in there as well. There's just a rich kind of depth to this nose as well. It's really hard to describe because it's not like other whiskeys with traditional mash bills where you get kind of traditional bourbon notes like caramels, vanillas, brown sugars, butterscotches, that type of thing. This is its own animal. It's very unique, very interesting nose. Again, that wood note jumps out. There's a nuttiness to this, a nutty quality, almost like walnut kind of type flavor. Then there's a sweet, deep, rich, dark fruit note to this as well. So almost like a cherry or a plum in there, kind of like stewed fruits. Very rich, enveloping on the nose palate there. All right, let's try this one out. Cheers. On the palate. Wow. Such a unique flavor. I took a huge sip there. It's fully mouth coating. Covers the whole palate. Then a bunch of really interesting flavors rush in. I'm going to have to go on a second sip, but on the first one there, the first thing that I was hit with was those deep, dark, rich stewed fruits. So blackberry, plum, cherry, almost jammy flavors, stewed fruits. Then there was a really nice, beautiful vanilla note that came in. Vanilla with a little bit of butterscotch and caramel sort of wrapped around it. And then the middle of the palate on this one is this beautiful oak note. I can't even really describe it. It's not like the sweet oak note. This is more of a fresh kind of like, almost like a furniture polish. I know that's kind of a weird description, but it's almost kind of like that note. Like it's kind of a new kind of charred wood note to it. And that one, that charred wood note, that carries through from mid palate all the way to a really long, beautiful finish. So the finish on this, you get some baking spices that come in there. You get black pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg, a little bit of clove. And then the very, very end of the palate is just a little bit drying and maybe a little bit astringent, but super, super interesting whiskey. Can't call it a bourbon because it's not a bourbon. It's its own thing. It's Ancient Grains whiskey. It's absolutely delicious. So let's go in for a second sip, see if I can pull some more notes for you guys. Cheers. Oh man, that is so good. On this time around, way more sweetness came into play. Way more sweetness, and it's fantastic. You get almost a strawberry and cream note to it. Strawberries, stone fruit, again, like I said, blackberry, plum, cherry. Then you get a rich vanilla, caramel, butterscotch combo coming in there in the mid palate. And that's sort of accompanied by that wooden note that is the through note, kind of like the backbone for this whole bourbon. It's that new charred wood. Leaves you with a spicy finish. So baking spices, a little bit of black pepper, cinnamon, hint of cayenne pepper in there. Nice long finish to this. So what a wonderful whiskey from Divine Distillers. Always super excited when they come out with new releases. I think they're just doing fantastic things. So if you are local, if you're here in BC, or if you're somewhere where they will ship to, check out Divine Distillers. I will leave a link to their website in the description. Go check them out, guys. You won't be disappointed. So till the next one, guys, thanks so much for watching. May your sails be full and your drowns be fuller. Cheers.